Okay, so hello anyone watching this back later, because I don't think there's anyone here yet. Maybe there is, who knows. I'll put my little banner up because I'm going to shoot a video for a minute or two. Won't take long. Little message in case it's confusing to anyone who comes in. Okay. Let's see if this camera's set up. All right, wide. Oh, like, what do I look like? A little demon? Because this light's not on. Okay. Also, I was standing rather close to the camera. And got down a little. That's about right. My actual cocktail over here. A very popular modern classic cocktail is the Negroni. It's really easy to make, an equal parts cocktail. So easy, in fact, we're going to make it right in the glass. So get yourself a rock glass with a big chunk of ice in it. And over that, we're going to pour 1 ounce or 30 mils of dry gin, 1 ounce of a bitter red aperitivo. Campari's traditional, but there are lots of alternatives you could go for. And finally, 1 ounce, 30 mils of sweet vermouth. That's it. And I like to stir it with my cherry on a skewer that I use as a garnish. And this is the Negroni. Great if you like boozy drinks, and also things that are a bit bitter. And here is your Negroni. Great if you like boozy drinks. You have to like things a bit bitter. Campari is particularly bitter. As I said, there are a lot of alternatives that are at different places on the bitter spectrum. Find what works for you. Make yourself a Negroni. Cheers. That was not turned on. What the fuck is that? Oh, Jesus, I'm fucking insane. I'm absolutely fucking insane. Jesus. My brain is all over the place today. Oh, for fuck's sake. Technology, stop fucking with me. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Take fucking 500. Jesus. I'm so pissed off at the moment. Come on, load properly this time, you stupid fucking thing. Okay, there we go. Oh, I am a clown. I wasn't going to turn it off. And my God. Hi, Kyle. Kyle, I didn't record anything. Okay, this will only take a minute. A popular modern classic cocktail is the Negroni. It's a phlegm in my throat. A popular modern classic... What is with this phlegm? I've got COVID. I don't. A popular modern classic cocktail is the Negroni. It's very easy to make. That was just my tongue. A popular modern classic cocktail is the Negroni. It's really popular because it's really easy to make and very boozy. Oh, fuck, no. I went off on a fucking tangent. Jesus. Take 5,000. Can you give me 2 minutes? A very popular modern classic... A very popular modern classic cocktail is the Negroni. It's very easy to make, just 3 equal parts in there. And in fact, it's so easy to make, we're going to make it right in the glass. So get yourself a rocks glass, put a big chunk of ice in there. Over that, we pour 1 ounce or 30 mils of a dry gin. Then 1 ounce, 30 mils of a bitter red aperitivo. Campari is traditional, but there are a lot of alternatives you can choose from. And finally, 1 ounce, 30 mils of sweet vermouth. That's it. I like to stir it with my cherry on a skewer I use as a garnish, and we're all done. It's that easy to make a Negroni. Great if you like boozy drinks. You do need to like it a bit bitter. Campari is quite bitter. Like I said, there are a lot of other alternatives. There are different points on the bitterness spectrum. So find one that works for you. Make yourself a Negroni. Cheers. All right. Come and get your burritos now. Good God. What a schmozzle that was. All right. Ugh. Fork me sideways, man. Oh my God, that was a palaver. What a palaver. Oh, Kyle, I need a whole fucking crew, quite honestly. Doing shit alone is really stressful. And hi, Megalich, by the way. Oh, okay, that's one. I might make one more video tonight. Then again, I might not. We will see. I have one prepared. So. Oofed. Actually, I have a couple in mind. Will I do an old Cuban or a fluffy duck? Or neither. Who knows? Orange peel. Oofed. That's already getting dry, that. Fucking orange. What the... Orange is conspiring. Ooh, I can turn off my banner now because I'm not shooting the video anymore. But it'll probably... it will probably... sorry, if I act distracted now, it's because I got distracted. Some of my old banners. There was... one I said, I could put that up because it would be true, be arguably in poor taste, which again would be very on brand. But we'll leave it there. Oh, I didn't put the stoppers back on these bottles that I just made a cocktail with. So if you'll excuse me for un momento, I'm just going to go down here and put stoppers on bottles. Oh. All right. I'm going to put this one back in the fridge. There you go. There you go. And I got to go back to the office tomorrow, which is a sucky idea, quite honestly. I don't like that idea at all. Yeah. Okay. Wait, what am I doing here? I'm so confused by my computer at the moment. Why are you doing that to me, computer? Why do you hate me so? Right. Okay. Now things are behaving slightly more Like me? Yes. You okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
You're just tired or something.
Probably because I am.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you want to get to the fridge?
Yeah.
Let me move some stuff. And burritos are in the oven.
Sorry, this is what I was going for.
Oh yeah, no, I left them in there so they'd be warm.
Cool.
So you don't want to go to the fridge.
No.
You know what? I'm going to move things that are blocking the fridge anyway. Seeing them up. I made burritos tonight. Thing that tends to get made at least once, if not twice a week. Yeah, they're just very easy to make, and you can do quite a bit of variation in them. So yes, that's how exciting my day was. But don't let it be said that all I did today was make some burritos. I also did laundry, so the action never stops. I also edited 3 videos. Not 3 videos, 1 video. But that's the third of ones I want to get in. Oh. Gee, isn't Peter Dutton a piece of shit? Honestly. Good Lord. He is such garbage. Kyle, switching computers. Megaleech got a grapefruit today. Oh, nice. Yeah, no, grapefruit goes well in gin. Good choice. I'm doing a classic gin cocktail. A Negroni, except not with Campari. So you get fucking Campari simps saying it's not really a Negroni, and they have a point, but it does have the bitter red aperitivo in there, just not Campari, one that is considerably less bitter than Campari. It is still bitter though, and it is still red. Actually made in Australia. Not far. I should go visit these guys because they're not far away. I've had a couple of their drinkies. St. Felix. They are in. Where are they? Morty Alec. Yeah, I think they're only about, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes away from me. Might look them up because I have looked them up before and I realize they are quite close. Let's look up St. Felix Distillery. Yeah, like website. What's on their website? Yes, I can legally drink. Thank you for asking. All right. Ooh, if I want to order something, I'll get 10% off. That's not bad. So they make Wild Forest Gin, this aperitivo, yuzu and green tea spirit. I like that because that's basically a flavored vodka. And I think I tasted that. So it's not vodka because they've flavored it. And it's not gin because it's not made with juniper. So it's just yuzu and green tea spirit. It was pretty interesting. They make a vodka and cherry and cacao husk brandy, which I had. So in fact, they don't have a lot. Ooh, what's in the cocktail lab? Oh, okay. So they have recipes. I recommend this thing with a spritz. Yeah. Okay. So the yuzu green tea spirit, they're saying in a gimlet. So they're saying like this is kind of like gin, but it's not gin. Okay. They don't actually have that many products. So it's probably not worth visiting. Okay, so the website's really slow to respond, and I don't know if that's me and my browser and my internet that is at fault. Oh, do you really? I know this. I can tell what the punchline for this one is. A 3.14 meter long snake would be a python. I want to do the dad jokes. Urban Ground is Morty Alex's newest culinary precinct. Get something from a food truck. An open air beer garden. There you go. Huh. Wait, how long would it take? There. By car. Oh, 20 minutes. 20 to 25 minutes, depending on traffic. Jesus, maybe I should go. That's actually pretty easy to get to. Spoiled for distilleries, though. Kyle, you haven't been in the StreamYard? Oh, you want to be in the StreamYard? You've studied dad jokes extensively. You could say I'm a scientist. Nice, which is the perfect way to respond when you've told a dad joke. So yeah, I'm kind of spoiled for distilleries. Okay, so that one's 20 minutes. Now for fun, I just want to go, how far away? And okay. So there are three that I know of. There are three distilleries within a 20-minute drive of my place. I can think of another three that are certainly within 45 minutes. Probably more. So many distilleries. So spoiled for choice. God. Glad I wasn't a drinker in the 90s. Drinking was so much more boring in the 90s. Everything's really, really taken off in the last 15 years. You had like the modern cocktail renaissance started, I guess, in the 90s, late 90s. So 25 years ago. But things really picked up in the last 15 years. Like 30 years ago, the spectrum of booze you could get if you wanted to explore and make cocktails, your range was very limited. Now, woof, like I said, 6 distilleries within half an hour, 45 minutes of me. And yeah, there are hundreds across Australia. And that's just Australia. Do you know there are countries outside of Australia and some of those have distilleries? The more you know. And yes, Kyle, they tend to start with gin because you don't have to age gin. You just play with your botanicals. You get a profile you like. You distill it. You bottle it. Gin. vodka as well, obviously. But, you know, I think the coolest thing to make is whiskey. People think that's the coolest thing. And it's also probably the most complicated. But brandy and rum both have complications with aging and whatnot as well. But gin, you can just start making. And that's why everyone starts with gin. Plus, gin fucking rocks, actually. I like gin. I never used to. I do now. That's all down to Kirsten. I've got so much crap just there. I need to move some of it. Oh, nice. Kyle got a gift bag from a film festival during pandemic, had rum-infused hand sanitizer. Well, a lot of the distilleries switched to making hand sanitizer in the first year of COVID, which did lead to an unfortunate incident. I forget which distillery it was, but who actually accidentally shipped out hand sanitizer in their gin bottles. Not good. Not good at all. So, in fact, I had some moonshine made in the Byron Bay distillery, and that was in the first year of COVID. They had friends who had a brewery, Moondog, I think they were called, something like that. But they had a whole bunch of beer ready to go to pubs, and of course the pubs were shut, and the beer was, I don't know, going to go off, or they couldn't sell it or whatever. And so they were saying to their friends in the distillery, what can we do? And their first thought was, well, we could distill it and make hand sanitizer. But then I thought, oh, fuck it, let's get creative. And they distilled it into a drinkable spirit, but it's unaged, so they called it moonshine. And I've recently, although I had 2 bottles of it, the second bottle, well, the first bottle, just got used over about a 2-year period. The second bottle I put with another new make spirit into one of my little barrels and aged my own whiskey, which is actually pretty nice. It's hardly the most sophisticated whiskey in the world, but it's not bad. So, yes, lots of the distillers made hand sanitizer, particularly in the first year of COVID. Look at this huge bottle of clarified cocktail I've made. Hell yes. I haven't tasted this yet. Just made it this weekend. So I will give it a taste. And we shall see what it's like. It's got a really nice aroma. It's super fruity. Actually, when I say I haven't tasted it, I had a sip of it to make sure it's okay, basically. And it's very fruity because it's got orange juice and pineapple juice. Plus the rum that's in it is this spiced rum called Banana Bomb. Very over-the-top banana flavors. And that's come through. All the fruity flavors have come through. It's got really ripe fruit smells, like ripe pineapple, ripe banana. Oh no, I've got a drinking problem. I missed my mouth there. That was unfortunate. All right. Man, that's good. So fruity. So very, very fruity. And my initial thought was, that doesn't taste like alcohol, but I think it does. I think someone who doesn't drink a lot would taste it and go, that's very boozy. Because, it's got, Jesus, what did I put in it? I think I put in whiskey and like high proof whiskey and high proof rum and brandy. I think that's what I put in because I was just bloody knocking it together, quite honestly. I was using up a couple things. A couple more bottles going in the recycling. For someone who says he doesn't go through bottles that fast, I feel like I've been going through bottles. And hello, Justin and Safa. How's it going? And God, is it finally cool? I don't know. Air conditioning has been working quite well. Hasn't died, which was a major fucking relief. What's the bureau saying? Christ, it's still fucking 30. Jesus. But they reckon it's going to drop below 20 overnight, which would be okay. And then be 22 tomorrow. And then get progressively, oh, Jesus Christ. Getting warm midweek, 31 up to 35 on Saturday, maybe. Holy shit. Yep, Justin, I'm going back to the office, literally going into the office tomorrow, which not keen on. You're seeing headlines today, the rate of spread of the new COVID variant in the US has got some people worried it's actually vaccine resistant or possibly evading the vaccine altogether. Not cool. It's also not verified. It's just spreading super fast. Like apparently they went in 1 week, 20% of the cases being this variant to 40%. That's pretty radical. And that speaks to bad times to come, quite honestly. I hope not, but it doesn't look that good. Do you leave enough room for Mimsy to go in and out? Thank you. Or she just makes lots of noise. No, Dr. Abigail. I'm very happy that you have it. I hope our air conditioning doesn't blow up again. It literally blew up last year. Yes, it's like we don't know how bad things really are in China. And quite honestly, we don't have a great idea of how bad things are in the United States because people aren't taking it seriously. I like that that's not actually an exaggeration. I could understand that you mean that literally, Dr. Abigail, in that the apartment would be either borderline or absolutely unlivable. Because I know you like to be technically correct. Justin, summer helps us, but what's propagating in the northern hemisphere in their winter is very, 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 very worrying. I bet it is. A big concrete building without air conditioning, heat stroke would be a major risk. I will be very surprised if we go much longer without some change in official directive, even if it's only as simple as them recommending or even mandating masks on public transport in some places. I know there will be a lot of pressure on the governments to not advocate working from home. It's been a long time since our medical advice has actually been medical. It's been political. Basically, ever since fuckhead in New South Wales did not take the appropriate action when they had a major outbreak. So we'd spent best part of 2 years doing it hard, but controlling COVID to a remarkable degree. And then he just said, "Oh, no, fuck it." And then COVID's everywhere. So we'll go from 2,000 deaths in the first 2 years to 12,000 deaths in the third year, because it's like, oh, well, it's just a thing now. So, oh, fuck you. And so ever since then, the advice has been much more political than it has been medical. Because if it was purely driven by medical concerns, the restrictions would not have changed. It's just fucked. Absolutely fucked. Oh, well. C'est la vie, as the French are so fond of saying. They just can't stop themselves. Littlest things happens to the French. They say, c'est la vie. And so does Mimsy. Mimsy says, c'est la vie. Don't you? Don't you? Yes. Come and give me some attention. Like, you still smell... I feel like maybe she can just smell food on me because I cooked burritos tonight. So, in Soviet Union, apartments air condition you. That doesn't quite work, but... Yeah, I mean, there are certain parts of that Eastern Europe that have very hot summers. Generally speaking, summers like Australia's aren't very widespread. This is like the previous house I lived in, Dr. Abigail, double brick. It could survive like 3 days of hot weather and the bricks would just kind of absorb it and it wouldn't reach inside. But after that, that was capacity. And then all that heat had stored up would radiate into the house. Justin had a monkeypox vaccine. Is it literally the smallpox vaccine? Why would they call it the monkeypox vaccine if it was literally the smallpox vaccine? Well, Safra, I'll tell you for free, when we had the heat wave last year and my air conditioning blew up, the bathroom became a good one because we filled the bath with water and I would sit in it. Just like in cold water and just, relief. And then put my caftan on. Imsy's been a little weirdy. Still on my lap. Dude, maybe that's it. It's just a small monkey. Mimsy, why are you digging your fucking claws into my leg, you shithead? Don't do that. Okay, fuck you. Fuck you. Just for no reason doing the claw thing in my thigh. So she's not sitting on my lap anymore. Safa, honestly, next weekend, after about 4 hot days in a row, better than average chance of seeing the caftan. I'm just saying now. I'm wearing the beach pants today. I didn't really leave the house today. I'm wearing the beach pants today. But very much, I think, better than average chance of seeing the caftan again by next weekend. We'll see how it plays out. Like, I didn't have all the cocktail shirts. These are just really nice, very light. But it's nylon. It's some artificial plastic fiber they're made of, but they're very light. Not even wearing a singlet today. Dude, what happened to Nick? I don't know. I've not even seen him on social media for a while. So, yeah, he's maybe one of the many people who had immersed themselves in various social media for a while who then got an idea and said, maybe I should go off social media. Maybe it's not good. Summer dresses are the go. So I did a date night last night with Mrs. Angry. She had a very nice summer dress. Hoodle Alley was really funny. It's like another of these venues we go because it's next to a train station. All these public transport date spots we have, which are very good, and it's very convenient if you're going to have cocktails that they're right next to public transport. And this one, they made some nice cocktails. Food was very nice, and I was looking at their spirits list, and they had some good Australian ones on there. A lot of good Australian gins, a couple of Australian whiskies. But the interesting thing is they were charging the same price for 3 Australian whiskies. It was Starward twofold, which, depending where you get it, is about $70 to $80 a bottle. Starward, $100 a bottle. And then they had one called Hellier's Road, 12-year single malt. And they were all the same price to, basically, get a shot of these whiskies. Was all the same price. And I said, okay, it's weird enough that they're charging the same. Because when you looked at all the other ones, different gins with different prices by $1 or $2, and scotches and all that sort of thing, variation. But these 3 Australian ones, all the same price. And I thought, okay, it was. We just had some lag that went away. Did it? Okay. All right, maybe I'm back. Also, Rays, hey, what's up? So if we're back, so I thought it was weird enough that the Twofold and Nova were the same price when it's about $30 a bottle difference when you're buying them. Then I thought, I think this Hellier's Road is quite expensive. And I looked it up, and it's $170 a bottle. So they were charging the same for a shot of a whiskey that cost $70 a bottle and a whiskey that cost $170 a bottle. So I went, oi, I know what I'm doing. And I got them to make me an old-fashioned with the Hellier's Road, which would probably really upset whiskey dorks. But it was so good. It was so good. Hey, Salumi, how you doing? So, yes, I had a good time. They also made me a good martini. And we had a couple off their menu as well, a couple of their specialties. They were good as well. And the food was nice too. So, and it wasn't busy. I saw you ask, was it busy, Safa? I think, like, this past week, this coming week, are like the 2 quietest, sort of from Christmas to the 2nd, 3rd week of January are the quietest times of the year for going out because, so many people are on holidays. Oh, neat. Starting a new job tomorrow, Sulemi. Excellent. I'm going back to my job tomorrow. And when I go suffer, it was like 7:30. So it was peak time. It was probably only about half full. Other times we've been there, they've been very busy. So yeah, previous time we'd been there was about 2 months ago. That seems like a decent rotation. Visit a place you like once every 2 or 3 months. So but it was a good night. Nice food, nice drinks, and the temperature dropped quite a bit once the sun went behind some buildings, and there was a decent breeze. We were sitting outside. That was a COVID precaution. So we were sitting outside. They had outside seating, and we got a very nice breeze. So I felt good about that. You're trying to find food. Yeah, I did make a burrito, but not in the mood. No, that's okay. So Oh, look, Mimsy notes someone's getting food. Is that for me? It's cheese and crackers, Mimsy. You wouldn't like it. Actually, she might. So run away with it. Yes. She just went away with the food without giving any to Mimsy. What's that about? That doesn't seem fair. Anyway, I gave you a bit of burrito last time I made some, and it's like you didn't like it because it was spicy or something. Wuss. Because my spicy is wussy. Because I'm a white person, and I don't handle spice very well at all. Big question. What's in a fluffy duck? I don't have orange juice. So I want to make a fluffy duck tonight. Will I make an old... Oh, I need to prep to make an old Cuban. Got to get mint leaves. Yeah, you know what? I actually can't be fucked making another video tonight. Did I get a Discord notification? No? Must be you. If you heard the Discord noise. Oh, wait. I just got one from you. I did get your Discord message. There you go. Oh, no. Did date night not go that well, Dr. Abigail? Well, obviously not if you're saying you're single again. Dang. Oh, well. Got to soldier on. Find another opportunity, I guess. Dang, that's always a bit rough. Oh, well. Yep. I'm useless. I don't know any lesbians looking to date, so sorry. I should say any more lesbians looking to date. Mimsy, mimsy, mimsy. Mimsy, mimsy, mimsy. Wow, Salumi, it's like you're really hitting it on this new job. An area you're passionate about, more money, shorter commute, work from home flexibility. Those are all good. Oh, well, actually, so that's not too bad an outcome, Dr. Abigail. Doesn't have the emotional availability. So long as it wasn't bad, I guess. I mean, outcome, not good. But yeah, the saving grace is it wasn't bad. Oh, big shooky cat. Oh no! So just look. Sorry, Megalith, you shared with me those gin drinks. It's a great glass that you've got them in too. They call them like balloons. Big old glass with lots of. Great on a hot day. I actually had a gin drink. They had their gin pairings. Like highballs with ice. They were mostly gin and tonic. I got the one that was with soda. It was this a gin from, I think it's South Australia, 23rd Street Distillery. Their violet gin, so it was a pretty purple color, and it was with this yuzu soda. Man, it was fucking yummy. Because it's like really hot when we got there. So Mrs. Angry and I both got tall drinks, highballs, with lots of ice. I got this violet gin and yuzu, and Mrs. Angry asked for a mojito, which wasn't on the menu, but they said they did all the classics. So she said, "Oh, can you make me a mojito?" And they said, yes. The mojito was really good too. But again, great in hot weather. So, Megalich, you've worked your way through the Advent gins. Now, find yourself some more. See, Dr. Abigail, I am so glad. I mean, I met Mrs. Angry through internet dating, but I'm so glad I'm not doing it now. And hey, Strictly Sega, how are you doing? I just realized, okay, it's too bright here. If I'm just gonna put this in here. Switch this light off. So the lighting is a bit softer, moodier. So I know they weren't expensive. If you're just doing classics, it was just based on what you had in it, which is because they were charging the same price for this really expensive whiskey as they were for a cheap whiskey. That's why I got an old fashioned made with the expensive whiskey. $20 for a really nice old fashioned that was made with a whiskey that goes for $170 a bottle. So, yay. I was just thinking, God, because that old fashioned was so good. If I go there again, I'm just going to order old fashions all night. I get why you want someone else to do the dating profile for you. Oh man, if Emma was still here in Melbourne, I'd get her to help you with it. Remember when we used to do the dating profile stuff? The profile police? Emma was really good at that, helping people set up dating profiles. I think she would have been into it, helping you with that. I unfortunately would be rather useless at it for a number of reasons. Yes. Dating profiles suck. Yeah. I mean, again, I haven't done it for... When did I meet Mrs. Angry? 17 years ago? Something like that. So I haven't had to do it since then. Oh, yeah, sorry. Strictly Sega. Emma is Mistress M. We did the dating advice videos. Eva was the one who worked in the adult store and wrote sex advice columns. Yes, Dr. Abigail, the chatting. Well, at a certain point, and with most of these, again, this is my possibly absolutely worthless experience speaking, but in my experience, you need to strike pretty quickly and just go straight to, so would you like to meet? Just like, so if the chat isn't completely there, you relatively quickly need to just take the plunge and say, so would you like to meet? Because, yeah, and I've had other people say their experience is similar. If you don't push it, nothing happens. So after I've had multiple drinks tonight, just finished my clarified cocktails. Look how good that looks. There's a video going up of me making that, and before I added it to the milk, it was a fairly disturbing murky brown color, very much looked like sewage, and then added it to milk and it curdled, so it arguably looked worse, and it comes out looking like that. It's awesome. Well, see, that's the thing, Strictly Sega, when it's a dating site, there's at least the fact that, well, you're both theoretically here to find someone to date. There's at least that angle. But yeah, I mean, like, I've literally never, picked up at a club or a bar. Never in my life. Anyone I've started up with, I've met them when I was at uni. I was introduced by friends or internet dating. The idea of just starting up a conversation with a complete stranger in a pub or a bar or something is just like, fuck no. I cannot do that. And yes, you can mention your hobbies on your profile or see the other person's hobbies and start there. I know I'm definitely not Tim Smith. I guess I can feel it a little bit. I see. There you go. See, Dr. Abigail, different lives, different lifestyles. You've had more successful people in clubs. I've had, well, I suppose I have periodically tried to talk to someone in a pub or a club or a bar. But I'd be really stretching my memory back and oofed. Oh my God. Also, I didn't put the lid on my jar of cherries. I don't want a fucking bug falling into it. That'd be bad. Oops, and I spilled some syrup. All right, I just got to clean it up. As Archer would say, do you want ants? That's how you get ants. Oh, I mean, speaking of old fashions, it's not food, Mimsy. Like Mimsy's really closely looking at what I'm doing. It's not good. She's obsessive. It's like if the humans are doing anything, she's banking on it being about food for her. Old-fashioned, I think. Some more of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. You know, Chief Son. That's my favourite at the booze expo I went to, and I haven't had it for a little while. I'll make an old-fashioned with that. Ice cream. Oh, someone else is in the kitchen. Mimsy's super excited now. Do you want a Mars bar or the ice cream? The tub. Oh, no, Mimsy's sure there's some food going on here. She's just bloody obsessed. When the humans start doing something, she just starts banking on it involving food that she can get. So, my special spiced apple sugar syrup. A little bit of that. Sweeten my old fashioned. All right. All right. Oh, sorry, I just got the club joke in the chat. Oh, yeah, IRC. I did chat with people on IRC. Oh, no, actually. Oh, no. She's not going to be mortified. I'm sure you know the story. Young Mazangra's here getting ice cream. I met a mum on IRC. And as I intermittently say, she may actually legit qualify as the world's first internet baby. I'm sure she doesn't want anyone looking into that. Because, yes, no, maybe. You don't want me to contact the media and make the claim? Do interviews and... Yeah, it's all the internet's fault. No, because I was in Sydney and her mum was in Melbourne, and we never would have met if it wasn't for the internet. And that was IRC, actually. I love that. Silly me going on her dating site because no straight cis men. Yep. I understand why you'd be doing that. You done?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Yes, Jude. Dating sites most definitely can be a quagmire. Yes, I remember the first time I was on IRC, there was about a dozen people in the chat room. There were a few in Australia, a few in America. There's like someone from South Africa. There's like someone from Northern Europe, like Sweden or something. Someone in Asia. It was just marveling that we're just in this thing. We're just typing chat to one another. And it was just, at the time, this is like mid-90s. It was fucking mind-blowing to me. It's like, holy shit, I'm just having a real-time text conversation with people who are all over the world. And that was just astonishingly new at the time. Yes, this is tricky. I think Safo copy-pasted something that didn't do spacing. Summary about IRC. Oh, I don't think I ever used that one. Tricky Sega, Windows 95 net meeting. I used IRC for a while. I did use MSN chat for a while before they killed it. And I probably used Yahoo chat for a while. Yeah. No, so for America Online was an ISP, a very large ISP. But they had this idea that they could create a walled garden, that people could go online, but only in the sites created by AOL. And yeah, he tells us just corporate hacks who had this idea that they could create something that was better than the entire rest of the internet. A lot of Americans used AOL at some point because AOL was just constantly sending out install CDs. And so people would do it just to see what it was. And then AOL eventually worked out their whole walled garden thing simply wasn't going to work. So they became a sort of jumping off point for the internet. Trigger, remember the AOL CD. Yes. I'm glad that gender is working for you, Sulimi. I like it. Kyle, okay, do you want to come into the StreamYard? Yes, you're right, Dr. Abigail. AOL CDs were a thing even here, much less than in the US because they were everywhere. They were in cereal packets. They were being put inside newspapers. They were being just put in people's letterboxes. And yeah, they did try to launch here. All right, so who wants to join? I will post it. I just remembered Carl's on Facebook. Oh, that is an excellent term, Dr. Abigail, gender euphoria. That's brilliant. I like that. So I'm actually going to have to go onto Facebook directly to give Kyle the link. And that should work. There we go. Okay. So yes, is there anyone who wants to say a hidey-ho on a Sunday night? I love that, Dr. Abigail. People gave you AOL CDs because you were the only tech person they knew. They thought you could use it because they didn't know what it was. Ah, Soft Boy. Nothing wrong with that. And Kyle, hello.
Oh, why can't I hear you? Hang on.
I don't know. Why can't you hear me? I can hear you.
Hang on. Sorry.
Did you know I don't know Auslan? So...
Oh, hang on. Wait, what? No. Sorry. Oh, I think I've got it now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I can hear you.
That
We're
was
good.
so weird because, like, normally
weird.
it just goes and it's all fine, but tonight it decided that it was going to change audio inputs. Yes,
There
I'm
you go,
very
there you
aware.
go.
I'm on Facebook. I'm the worst. You have to do that whole extra thing. How are you, my friend?
I'm going well. Oh, okay. Something's happening. I'm getting myself back through your audio a second after I talk.
No. Okay, hang on. Oh, that's weird.
Oh, Dr. Abigail, there was actually a company that tried to launch under the trading name Australia Online. They never went anywhere. Where did I have this? Oh, I think I had Sorry, it's just happening again, which really threw me.
Is it still happening?
It's okay. It's very small in the background to the point where I can ignore it now.
Okay. All right. That's really annoying because I was going to record a show. I've got a radio show this weekend, and my microphone is broken, so this is going to be interesting.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure. If you were watching on Facebook, if you close that tab.
Oh, maybe that's it. Because I did take away the microphone. So let me try it.
So actually shut Facebook off. And that might help.
Is that better?
I don't know. I'll have to talk some more. No, it's actually still doing it a little bit.
Let me see if I can change it back to because like I'm doing on speakers as well. So maybe if I go audio speakers, echo cancellation. Okay. How is it now?
I don't know. I'll have to talk for a bit and then tell you. No, it's still there.
Oh my God.
Doctor, I was asking if you're using voice meter or...
No, I'm not using voice meter.
No. Actually, Strictly Sega's got it right. It sounds like the teacher from Charlie Brown cartoons.
I don't know.
Yes, if you had a headset, that wouldn't have a problem. But I don't know why it's doing this.
I mean, I've got these shitty headphones. I could try and come back in the... But these like sound like I'm underwater, so that's not going to help anybody. Should I come back via a phone? Does StreamYard have an
app? You should be able to click the same link on a phone.
Let's see. Okay, let me see. We love when all of this stuff goes down, eh?
Oh, as Dr. Abigail was saying, you don't have to use the mic on the headset, just the speakers. Set the microphone differently and the speakers just your earpiece. But yeah, it's definitely doing the Charlie Brown teacher squeaky thing.
Oh, how's that now? I've just changed the audio.
I don't know. I'm talking. No, it's still there. It is still there.
All right, hang on. I'm just gonna go. Can I just go behind? Wait, no, I'm not gonna leave the studio. Can you take me to the back room or something?
Sure. There you are. You're in the back room. So wave when you want me to bring you back in, because I can still see you. Safa, Australia Online may technically exist, but in the context of being a real thing, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, now I feel like looking them up. Yeah, online recipe. It adds for all these other ones. I don't know where you're getting your information for because nothing's come up. Or even if I just put Australia online. Oh, there they are. Okay, well, their website still looks like it was designed in the 90s. Okay, Carl's waving. Are you back? Oh, you're on your phone.
I'm on my phone. Is that better?
Oh, well, I can't hear myself anymore.
So it is better.
It is better. I'll do that. There you go.
God, something's wrong with my computer. That's fucking scary.
Yeah, don't know what that was.
Oh, well, it's gone now. How are you, my friend? I shall
Good, how
start
you
with
doing?
that.
Sorry?
Good. What?
Sorry, I just missed whatever you said, that's all.
Oh, no, I was saying, how are you, my friend? 'Cause I have...
I'm fine. Both enjoying a beverage.
Yeah, and next time you film a video, like, feel free to get me in and I'll, like, direct you at some point and be like, hey.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do basically need someone with a checklist going, is that ready? Have you done that? Have you done that? Have you? Okay, now you're ready. As opposed to me just jumping in and starting something. And then, although I can't remember ever doing what I just did at the start of this stream, which Kyle and I think Megaleech were the only ones here who would have seen it. I was shooting a short video and I did not even turn my camera on. I had my little view thing up so I could see myself and I was doing it. And then I don't know, I looked and went, I didn't even turn the camera on. I was like, I don't remember ever doing that before. It was weird. Bug in my glasses? Nice. So the only trouble is if you go right back there, we can't hear you. You're too far from your phone.
Happens to the best of us, Ozzy.
Yeah. I've had so many audio problems over the years. Like I've recorded 45 minutes of video and then gone to edit it and there was no audio on it. It was like, ugh. So are you trying to say something there?
I was going to say, like, as in, like, oh my God.
Oh, right. With the not recording audio. Yeah. I think I've put at least one video, and this is from a very long time ago, where I'm just voiceovering it. In the video, I'm like walking down the street saying stuff. You know what? I went out and I shot all this video outside and something was wrong with my microphone and none of the audio recorded. So I'm just going to play the video and tell you what was going on as I walked around. That's the thing. I haven't done an outdoors video in a long time. I have to do that at some point. Go out into the great outdoors.
I'm going to do that tomorrow. I haven't been out and about yet.
Yeah. So, oh, sorry, Safra, I was trying to work out what the comment meant. You did it once and it was a music video. You mean you recorded a video and there was no audio. Yeah, it's a worry. And sometimes because my default way of shooting videos now, I have the camera on and I record audio separately on my little Zoom recorder and I match it up in post-production. I know in the early days, like someone was talking me into, we'll get this. It was like a little mini stick boom microphone that sat on top of my camera, and you plugged it in. But if the plug wasn't in completely properly, it would fuck things up. So not even the camera's onboard audio would work, and there'd just be no sound. And same deal, like, yeah, someone else said, oh, look, here's a wireless lapel mic. This is awesome. You should use that. I used it for a while, and because it's, I don't know, it's communicating with radio signals. Probably the third time I used it and the audio was completely fucked, I was just like, yep, you know what? I can't afford to do that anymore. I can't afford to be shooting stuff and having the audio fuck up. So I stopped using it. So Strictly say, you think NetSpace and Aussie Mail were the first Aussie ISPs? Aussie Mail, where Malcolm Turnbull made a fortune because he was an early investor. And they sold out to Telstra or whoever and made a packet. My first ISP was, and they still exist, they're originally a computer parts retailer, wholesaler, and they jumped onto the whole internet thing pretty early. Oh God, I'm blanking now. They still exist, I'm pretty sure. But no, my brain's blanked and I can't remember them now. But yeah, that was mid-90s. But yeah. Oh, Strictly Sega. There you go. You Googled it. Pegasus Networks were they offering commercial connectivity in 89? Because I thought it was like universities only then, but I'm sure someone said, oh, there you go, Safi, you got it. TPG, Total Peripherals Group. That was my first ISP. And pretty sure they do actually still exist. But yeah, I switched to Telstra Big Pond. So much to the point I have a Big Pond ID still. They haven't gotten rid. I mean, I don't use it. The idea of using a Big Pond email address is I've had a Gmail since back since when you actually had to have an invitation to join Gmail. So I don't know, just on one of the chat boards I was on, someone's just went, hey, I've got 20 invites to Gmail. Does anyone want one? And I just piped up and said, me. And and I've just kept the Gmail address since then. So Strictly Sega, you had TPG for ADSL. I had them for dial-up. I actually don't think I ever had ADSL. I jumped from dial-up to cable internet. So that was a big change for me. Did the old Foxtel Telstra deal to get the Foxtel and the cable internet. So that's when I dipped from
those fucking days for like the where you have the dial in.
Oh, as I saw someone describing it, it sounds like a robot screaming in pain. It's theoretically because those the existing landline systems, less of a thing now because a lot of things are digital, but they worked off tones. So like when, particularly like coin operated phones, when like the phone box registered what coins you put in and sent particular tones down the phone line to tell the exchange how much money you'd put in. So various phone freakers, spelt PHREAKERS, they worked out if you got recordings of those tones and played them into the receiver, your phone box is essentially telling the network, oh yeah, this person's paid for their call. So you didn't have to pay for your call to do it. Notoriously, there was a hacker, went by the name Captain Crunch, because he worked out, because there was some kind of whistling tones. They sound like whistling But he worked out there was like a cheap whistle that was a toy in an American cereal, Captain Crunch, and he worked out he could manipulate the whistle to blow down phone lines and get free calls. So that was like 90s hacker stuff. This is the sort of stuff Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak were into before Apple was a go. So I suppose that was 80s, not 90s. Yeah, sorry. The phone freakers, they were like 70s and 80s. I don't know why I said 90s. They were 70s and 80s. Yes, Strictly Sega's also picking me up on that. That was the 70s, not the 90s. Sorry, time has no meaning. But I actually met Captain Crunch at a rave in late 80s or early 90s. Man, that guy had done a lot of drugs. You know when you just look at someone and go, man, you've done... Sorry, what?
Is this you sure when you said you met Captain Crunch at a rave, it wasn't just you hallucinating from DMT?
No, it was actually the guy someone introduced. At first, it was just like he was this crazy old guy who was having a good time. And he was actually in Australia hiding from US authorities. And then someone explained to me who he was. And I went, oh, cool. But he's one of those guys when you look at him, like he was like a mad hippie. And you look at him and go, you have done so many drugs. Like you've done all the drugs in your life. How many drugs? All the drugs. It was just he was a pretty wild and crazy guy. So, all right. No, Shaffer, Julian Assange is far more boring and far more violent and obnoxious, quite honestly. I don't think Captain Crunch ever found himself in trouble for sexual assault, but I don't think Captain Crunch ever supported right-wing psychopaths either. But you know, I like to say when people think point out Julian Assange is a complete fucking dick, they go, "Oh, do you agree with the government?" You know, no, two things can be true: the political witch hunt against WikiLeaks and Julian Assange can be a bad thing, and Julian Assange can be a bad person as well. Because bad people, despite how it feels, bad people don't all gang up together and say, we'll never turn on one another. Because bad people at different levels and in different countries find themselves having different goals and different drivers, and they behave in different ways, and they're after different things. So, yes, I think people need to understand two things can be true. Yes, Zvan, the Julian Assange NASA thing, I think if I remember rightly, it was when he was in Australia. It's because people worked out this hack was probably from an Australian because there was some oblique or direct reference to Midnight Oil and the stuff that he put where he signed the hack. That's a fun take, Svan. Julian Assange was our 80s Logan Paul. He was famous to a much smaller group of people, though. He may have had the problematic behavioral things that Logan Paul has, but he was famous to a much smaller group of people.
Yet I have never seen Julian Assange film a movie in the suicide forest in Japan.
I'm going to have to break it to you, Carl. The phone thing's not really working either. Basically, not hearing anything you say.
Why?
I don't know. You basically have to hold it that close, I think. Otherwise, I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, yeah, at least Julian Assange, unlike Logan Paul, has not shot a movie inside the suicide forest in Japan.
Oh, Logan Paul's done innumerable horrible things. Oh, Strictly Sega. David Bowie was someone from like mainstream celebrity. He understood the internet way, way, way before the majority of his peers and establishment people. You see interviews with Bowie from the 90s where he's absolutely spot on with the potential of the internet.
I think David Bowie was always a bit ahead of his time anyway.
Well, he was an innovator. But yeah, his grasp of the internet was very strong, very early. But yeah, you can find these interviews on YouTube. Just look up, David Bowie talking about the internet, and then you look at the date of the interview, and you realize, man, he was so far ahead of so many people with understanding what the potential was. It was I was going to do tonight because I've still just before they stopped selling eggnog in the supermarkets, I bought some more, and I was going to have brandy eggnog, but I don't want to drink any more booze tonight, so I won't do that tonight. I have some water. Oh God, where's my water glass gone? Oh, I had it here. Maybe it's in the other room. Maybe. Just excuse me for a second. I need to get my water glass. Well, I don't hear you entertaining the crowds.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. You didn't give me the floor.
I walked off. It's implicit if I walk off.
Yeah, okay.
All right. I'm going to get a soda out of this.
Hello, everyone. Andrew is currently incapacitated towards just the fact he needs to find a drink to drink.
Oh, man. Oh, geez, I've got to get some more sodas, apparently. Okay. All right. Don't want a tonic. Might have this. Cappy, lime, and agave.
No, actually, it's do you guys have what's it called in Sydney? Do you guys have Milk Run in Melbourne?
I don't know. What's Milk Run?
It's like 10-minute deliveries of groceries.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with it. So, oh God, that's the throwback Strictly Sega. The interview, Lars Ulrich from Metallica was a bit of a knob with wanting even more money from people. But there was a missed opportunity because honestly, Spotify sucks balls. Spotify is evil and shit and hurts artists. And the people running Spotify seem to be the fucking devil incarnate. And but good old oh God. Again, my brain's blanking out. I'm trying to think of the file sharing site, not LimeWire, the famous one. Oh God, what was the big file sharing thing? Napster. Okay.
Oh.
Yes, no, it was Napster. Napster had the potential to change everything and be good for artists, but the dudes behind Napster were all into posturing and saying, I'm going to destroy record companies and whatever. If they had instead worked with record companies and artists to work on a way to make money when people stream, so which is basically what Spotify's done. Everything had the potential to be so much better. But Spotify is shit. Artists, you basically can't make a living as a recording artist now. Spotify just fucks over artists. And also, I've just seen a couple of statements from the Spotify CIO that CEO, and I've just gone like, yeah, dude, when the revolution comes, you will be first against the wall. So just thinking he can dictate to recording artists how they record, what they record, when they record, how they release, when they release. the urge to push his stupid head into a wood chipper is very high. I say this as someone who's worked in tech for more than 20 years. When tech people try to tell creative and artistic people what they need to do in this tech world so the tech bros continue to make all their money, this makes me want to bring the old mallet out and just have a word with them. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. I just want to have a word. I strictly Sega. Well, Neil Young doesn't need money because he's old and he's made all his money. I'm talking about if you're young, strictly Sega. If you're young, you can't make a living. No record company will sign you without putting your stuff on Spotify. And if that happens, you can't make money. You cannot make a living from it. And the record companies have been progressively fucking over emerging artists on how much they can even make if they perform live. Because that used to be the thing. The artists could make their money by performing live. But they've been tricked or bludgeoned into signing contracts that they even sign over the money from touring. Basically, you can't make money as a recording artist now. You just can't. And the idea of pointing to literally one or two people in the world who have more control and sell the millions and millions of albums. For instance, I saw someone who's an independent artist who actually gets a lot of plays on Spotify. But again, like a lot of indies, they have their stuff on Bandcamp where people actually buy the files. And this person is showing of the number of plays of their stuff, like 93% of their music being played was on Spotify, and Spotify accounted for 2% of their income for the year. Bandcamp, which was this tiny percentage of listeners on there, was 80% of their income. Basically, I've just seen enough in interviews from the people running Spotify that it's just yep, yes, counter-revolutionary bourgeois pigs up against the wall. So Spotify might be convenient, but the people behind it are fucking scumbags who are just chewing up and spitting out performing artists. I think they make marginally more money from YouTube Music. I have YouTube Music just because I actually pay for YouTube Premium. And so I get the music service. I'm somewhat familiar with YouTube's remuneration, and I think it's more generous. I think it's more generous than Spotify's. Plus, God, I know you can find anything on Spotify. I find you can find anything on YouTube Music as well. But yes, conceptually, Spotify is good. In practice, it's a steaming, from the point of view of the recording artists, it's a steaming pile of shit. And the people behind it are just fucking pricks. They're just fucking pricks. Like all these fucking tech bros who think they know everything. And they just fucking suck big time. So yeah, I love, and I'm sure Spotify has this too, but I love the whole where you just think up, what a song I haven't heard in ages, and this is whether it's a new one or a little bit old or really old, and you look that up and play that, and then it auto generates a playlist based on it. I think Carl's been cut off, or have you fallen asleep?
Oh no, I'm here. Sorry,
you were so unmotionless. I thought your thing had actually frozen.
Oh my god, I actually am about to fall asleep, so I might head off soon. But
That's okay. I'm not going to be here much longer myself.
oh, okay, cool. Yeah, my brain has just decided to like go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. If you have to crash, you have to crash. That's all good.
Okay, well, I might crash then. It was great seeing you.
Good to see you, man.
Andrew. I honestly hope this year I will be down at Melbourne at some point. I really, really want to be down in Melbourne. I've got lots of people to see. Hopefully I'll come and see you and some other people as well. I can show you all of the stuff to do with your own technological issues.
Oh, that's just a question of being organized. That's why I say I need someone to organize.
You need me. You need a producer. All right. Well, it was good seeing you. Hope everyone else is having a great night, and I'll talk to you all soon.
All right. See you later, Carl. Bye.
Bye.
And in fact, look, stepping into the gap, it's Phil, dangerously talented. How are you doing?
Hi there. Yeah. I had a bit of a week.
Bit of a week.
Yeah. So so just thought I'd drop in and say hi before you left the building.
Yeah. It's the whole thing. The staff are asking, is YouTube Premium cheaper than Spotify? I don't know. I just have no interest in signing up for Spotify. I signed up for YouTube Premium to get no ads on YouTube. And also under the thing that, every time I watched someone's video, they got 1 cent or whatever, something like that. And Zvan's here too. Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey. How you guys going?
Good.
Yeah, a bit hot here, a bit tired. But
yeah.
Been a week.
Yep. I had very unsettled sleep last night. I was tired a lot of today. I thought, no, don't have a nap. Be tired. Then you'll go to bed tonight and you'll sleep properly. That's my theory.
Yes, I've recently bought a new mattress. So
nice.
Yeah, I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, and I thought, and I thought it was much later. I played Fallout 76 for about 3 hours, and I was like, oh, it's only 9 o'clock. I'm going back to bed. This is why I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's very light outside this time of year.
Yeah. In retrospect, I think I'm just agitated about going back to work tomorrow because I had a couple of weeks off. There's nothing to be agitated about. It's just, ugh. And because I was like...
to read all those emails.
Yeah. There's even after only 2 weeks, there's going to be a shit... Monday's just going to be, you know what? All I'm doing today is grinding through these emails from the last 2 weeks. Yeah. I just realized I was feeling ugh all day, and I went, now I reckon I know, even though I wasn't consciously thinking of work, I didn't have any weird work dreams in the times I was asleep, but I said, no, that was all about being agitated about going back to work. It's just, ugh. Oh, I know that feeling. Sorry, Joanne, go.
So my favorite experience during the holidays was Origin Energy decided to change some of their accounting system for hot water management.
Oh, God, okay.
Over the Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
And I was one of their accounts, and they decided to change it, during Christmas.
Yeah.
No one to call when they fuck up.
Right.
I'm like, this is why we have change moratoriums at a bank.
Yeah, you don't do shit over Christmas, honestly.
Yeah, especially when most of your staff are on holiday.
Yeah. I had a related one to do with work cover, because when I was a contractor, I had work cover. They're saying I owe them money, and I'm like, no, I don't. And they keep sending things going, oh, we're going to send a collection agent. And I was replying and ringing their number, and you're on hold, and they say, oh, we're super busy. Leave a number, and we'll call you back within 2 days. And they don't. I send emails and they bounce. So I go to the generic message thing on their website saying, You clowns keep saying I owe you money, and I don't. You don't answer your phone. You don't reply to messages. Emails bounce. Get your shit together. And I still haven't heard from them. I've spent a month sending them messages, and it's just like, yeah, do your fucking worst, pals. I've got an audit trail of the number of times I tried to contact you, and you didn't fucking respond. So, and hey, Greg, by the way. Oh, yeah, Jude, I see your sleep schedule is shouted at, interrupted by your patient. Also, I feel this one. You feel tired and then lie down and then your brain goes into overdrive. That was me last night. I stuck because I have a CPAP machine and I stuck all my headgear on, and I realized I'd been lying there for a long time without falling asleep, but just on the edge of it, because when you're just on the edge, you dream of sleep and you have a bit of a dream, like your brain does something, and then a couple of seconds later you go, that's not real. Oh, I was almost asleep. That was a bit of a dream. Something weird happened. I had that for over an hour without properly falling asleep, and then I was just like, fuck the headgear, and then I was just rolling around, and I'd sleep or semi-sleep for, I don't know, an hour or so, and then wake up, then turn over and do it. So I just had a shit night last night.
You've just reminded me of what I used to do when I was studying for exams in uni.
Well,
I was so stressed out. I couldn't sleep. But what I could do is actually sort of, read up about the content in my head.
Yeah.
In my sleep.
Yeah, no,
So
last
like
night was
level 1 sleep, or whatever you call it.
Yeah, it was very weird last night. And a lot of today I was quite tired, and I was like, no, don't have a nap. Just keep stumbling through the day, and then you'll sleep properly tonight. And I was like, why is my tummy upset? It's like, am I sick? And then sometime in the afternoon you went, oh, you know what I reckon it is? Why I couldn't sleep last night, and while I feel blur today, is the feeling of going into work tomorrow. I just don't like it. But there's nothing wrong with work. Work's easy. Work's fine. It's just, I'd rather not, My plan to win lotto consistently fails, frequently thwarted by me not buying lotto
That's
tickets.
how they trap you.
Yeah.
Everyone has that plan.
Yeah. But there's been those...
Name someone that doesn't have that plan.
Exactly. There's been a couple of really big jackpots in the last year. Some dude at work organized a syndicate, and it's just like, I think it's $100 million. It's your syndicate. I'll send it. Sign up if you want. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to not. Oh God, I'm not going to not sign up, because if you fuckers won it and I didn't join in, I would hate myself for the rest of my... Like, I know this isn't going to win, right? I got to put in like $20 in this pool, and it's like, so I'm just setting fire to $20. I'm not going to win. But I'm not going in, because if you pricks all go in and win and I don't, and you all get to quit because you won a couple $1 million, and I'm just like, I'd be so pissed off. So I was like, all right, I'm throwing away $20 because the idea of you guys winning is too awful. So, and then we didn't win because I'm still working. But
if I won the lottery, I'd still work at work.
Oh, I wouldn't do my day job, but I would do something. Depending on what it was. If it was enough to just quit my day job, but it wasn't spectacular, I'd probably do YouTube stuff. I'd probably do online stuff and keep myself busy that way. But
even if it was like $100 million, I'd give most of it to an accountant to manage a portfolio for me. I'd buy an expensive car and get a car park at work and drive that. But I'd still work.
Oh, no joke. I'd start a distillery.
I need something to do during the day.
Yeah. No, I'd be doing stuff. I'd start a distillery. No two ways about it. I've already got the plans of it being a combined distillery, bar, cafe, video production studio, craft warehouse, maker's workshop. Just all the cool shit you want to do that would hopefully attract cool, interesting people who wanted to do stuff there. So it'd be doing stuff. It'd be running a distillery and doing stuff, but then having all this other creative stuff that would hopefully bring in creative people and just have cool days, you know. Strictly Sega, that's noble. You'd give away 90 keeps. I kind of had this idea in my head. If I won a stupid amount of money, it'd be, okay, every time you spend money on something now, you have to give the same amount to someone, some group that needs it more than you. So it's like, if you get a new car, you have to give the same amount as that car to some worthwhile cause. So, but yeah, the idea of being one of those people who hoards wealth, like, you know, a dragon in Lord of the... Why did I say Lord of the Rings? The one Tolkien book that has no dragons in it. Like Smaug in The Hobbit. The idea of sitting hoarding, like you get these billionaires doing, they're just obsessed with hoarding more and more. That's kind of sick and fucked up. But I definitely, like I've joked about it. It's not a joke though. I would absolutely start a distillery. And because why it would be fun is I wouldn't have to make any money off it. So it's just like, I just run it at a loss, just be having fun.
That sounds like it could become lucrative as all the creative people start getting together and start building up a buzz about it. You know, you'd end up with more money than you started with. That's going to be a problem.
Here's the fun one. Dr. Abigail. Okay, now we're doing hardcore Tolkien nerdism here. There's no dragon in Leaf by Niggle. Was that and this is it's not disputing the dragon point. Was that published while he was still alive? Because I had that in a collection called Tree and Leaf, which was a couple of short stories. It was Farmer Giles of Ham, Leaf by Niggle, and I think his Beowulf poem. But yeah, bit of trivia, was that published before or after he died? But that's the other thing. That certainly could become lucrative if you get that many creative people in one place and there's no pressure on them. Creative people tend to actually do pretty amazing things when they're sort of not under some fist of capitalism telling them they have to do things. But I just love the idea of running a distillery when you don't have to make money. And so you can just be experimental and be different. And no. Okay, Dr. Abigail's got the answer. Published in 1945, definitely while he was still alive. Okay. Yeah, I got a bit obsessive in high school and tried to read everything Tolkien I could find, including the Father Christmas letters. For those who don't know, he wrote and illustrated letters to his children that supposedly came from Father Christmas, like they'd come at Christmas, and there was all these dramas at the North Pole, like his elves were somewhat like his elves in Lord of the Rings, and they had fights with orcs at the North Pole. So that was pretty dramatic. And yes, strictly Sega, not having to go with what's popular. I think rather than have a commercial bar open to the public, I might even have a private club, like a private members thing. So again, just being low key and not having to worry about dickheads coming into your bar, because you're not trying to make money. That would just be fun. But again, I am 100% of the belief that I will never win lotto, because you have to be a fucking whack job if you think you ever are going to. But yes, I think Greg's on board. Private club rather than an open bar. Also, because I think the licensing is a bit more lenient if it's a private club that only members of the club can attend. That's the whole thing. Safa, Middle Earth is not based in the UK, but certainly the bucolic lifestyle of the hobbits seems to be influenced by country life in England. not necessarily based on, but I feel like it was probably influenced by country life in England. Yeah, so, and Tolkien, because Tolkien was in the trenches in World War One, like the most fucked up things humans had done to each other at that point in history. He was, from my reading, fairly adamant the battle stuff in the Lord of the Rings and Silmarillion and whatnot was not based on or influenced by his experience in World War One. But I think outside observers look at it and go, maybe it was. You actually saw the worst that humans can do to one another. And you do have some pretty dark stuff in your battles, in your books. So it might be influenced by what you saw in the trenches, even though you say it wasn't. But who knows? But yeah, again, okay. Philosophical point. World War One, shit as, right? The lost generation, like a disturbing number of young European men wiped out in that war for no fucking reason. It was just ridiculous bullshit between royal families of Europe. It made no sense. It was complete fucking bullshit, and it was absolutely senseless slaughter of millions of young men. And I had a point when I started this, and I just was ranting. Okay, it was Tolkien. Okay, so Tolkien was in the trenches. He got trench fever. He was in hospital. When he was in hospital, his division was overrun and they were wiped out. If he hadn't have been in hospital when that happened, he would have been killed, and we would not have had. He's probably the most influential fiction writer of the 20th century, and we would not have had him. He would have been killed. And so I always think, what else did we lose in World War One? What writers did we lose? What symphonies did we lose? It's just mind-boggling. It's not just, the millions of ordinary people are a terrible loss. There's being just an ordinary person myself, I don't want to gloss over the senseless loss of millions of ordinary people. But when you see how close we came to losing Tolkien, we must have lost dozens and dozens of people at the minimum who would have been of his stature in some field.
Wilfred Owen, for example.
Yeah, it's a crime against humanity. What the fucking crowned heads of Europe did there, but
and also what it did to that generation of people. I mean, most of the Nazis were in the German trenches.
Yes, and yes, they felt the humiliation of the loss there, and was very much responsible for the ascendancy of the Nazi Party, which of course was the second great horror of the 20th century.
What was that film that had like that non-stop continuation of World War
1917.
Yeah,
1917.
That was awesome. Like that really showed you the horrors of the war.
I haven't watched it yet, but apparently the new adaptation of All Quiet on the Western Front on Netflix is pretty full on. That is a very early sort of classic of World War One was shit as, and that new adaptation is apparently just brutal, which is what it needs to be.
But in terms of the intellectuals sort of getting savaged by war, I'm like World War II, like, both the Russians and the Americans stole all the German scientists that were developing rocket technology, bomb technology, and that sort of shit. Like, they were actually placed on podiums almost.
Yeah. The Nazi scientists who mysteriously didn't face war crime trials, they were seconded to the US and the USSR for their rocket programs. Yeah.
And all the all the richest ones went to the West because they could actually had the wherewithal to get there. They had
Yeah.
the money to actually drive off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, really early on in the war, the Nazis and the Americans were actually sort of buddy pals.
Oh yeah. And yeah,
Like you
Greg,
had Zeppelins traveling from New
Because-
York and
Mm.
Germany.
Operation Paperclip was getting the Nazi rocket scientists to work in America. I think that, like, the most famous or infamous one is Werner von Braun, but he's just the best known one. Both the Soviets and the Americans recruited a significant number of Nazis into their ranks.
And so I
Recruited
agree with
in,
you how
air
like
quotes.
World War One and World War Two just sort of decimated sort of from a cultural point of view and an intellectual point of view, decimated our culture.
Well,
Yeah.
literally.
But during the Cold War, where we weren't actually shooting each other, we were racing to the skies, trying to put rockets into the skies.
Yeah.
And there was a very heated but open sort of political field where intellectuals could get involved. I think where we weren't shooting each other, we were inventing really awesome stuff.
Well, again, a lot of our advancements come. War is a great innovator. Innovations come out of war. Just millions of dead people come out of war as well. So it's humans. It's what we're like. It's what we do. I love it. Dr. Abigail, a lot of those German scientists went to great lengths to make sure they were on the Western side of it. Yeah, they were rightly concerned. Some really bad shit happened in Russia, and a lot of them have got revenge in their mind, and they are doing really awful things. The Russians, as they moved through Germany, were doing a lot of what they saw as payback, which was not pleasant shit. What they were. So I'm not surprised the majority, or at least a big chunk, of the German hierarchy who thought they might sort of escape, thought, I'm going to escape to the west, not the east.
90% of males born in 1920, 21, they died. 90%.
Yeah.
That
was the
that's
phrase
why there's
with
a
the
whole
lost generation.
population crashing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not all of a generation, but there was a generation that was absolutely fucking just ruined by war. Humans, we're awesome. We just do awesome shit.
We're really good at fucking ourselves up, huh?
Yeah. Right. As Dr. Abigail says, innovation comes from necessity, and war produces a lot of fear and death-induced necessity. But yeah, I mean, the world is so, like, for all the things that are bad now, and there are a bunch of things that are bad now, you think from 1950 to 1920, there was a very nasty war that all but wiped out a generation, and a flu pandemic that did a good job of mopping up people who weren't killed by the war, like a flu pandemic that leaves COVID in the fucking shade. And
we're talking about Spanish flu.
Yeah. The 1918 flu it killed more people than World War One. And it's just, and the only reason it wasn't a bigger news story is because the war overshadowed it.
Well, they censored it. They censored it. That's why it's called Spanish flu, because only the Spanish were reporting on it. Oh, there's a huge pandemic, and only Spanish. No, it was everybody.
Yeah. And in fact, the biggest early outbreaks were probably, I read up on it, the biggest early outbreaks were probably in the United States.
Yeah.
Yes, it was the Spanish who reported on it and identified it. So it became known as the Spanish flu.
Yeah, and then it got migrated. And I remember seeing pictures of the Spanish flu in like New York and that sort of stuff, where they're holding up signs saying, if you're not wearing a mask, you should be shot and that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. And it was
Yeah.
like 100 years ago or more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bring back those
Yeah.
signs.
Well, because they didn't have a vaccine for it, so it was just fucking killing people. And I mean,
Yeah.
we've had millions of deaths globally from COVID, but I think there's not any really good accurate counts of the 1918 flu. But I think conservatively the death toll was 10, if not 20 times higher. But damn,
I think those stats are probably going to be overrun soon because COVID.
Oh god, yeah, no.
is-
Currently, the latest variant that they're now worried is actually evading vaccines. Great, back to square fucking one. Jesus, it's almost inevitable. It's not necessarily happening. It's just this latest variant is spreading so quickly. There is some concern it might, if not, it could be worse than vaccine resistant. It might actually just be completely getting around vaccines, which would be super fucking bad if that was the case. Because everyone's pretending COVID doesn't exist now, and it does.
I'm still avoiding public transport.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wear masks on public transport. So, but yeah, I haven't gone to the movie. I think I've been to the movies once since COVID happened because I'm just not going to be in a closed room with recirculated air for 2+ hours with other people. I'm just not going to do it.
I live in an apartment building. Thank you very much.
Oh, bit of recirculated air going on there. Oh
Yep.
dear. Oh dear. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, they've got me going back to the office. I'm going back to the office, and I'm going to complain heaps and say, can we please get real and acknowledge there's no actual point in us coming back to the office, and COVID is fucking everywhere. And can I please work from home 5 days instead of 3 days? So,
I'm going to be having the same conversations.
Yeah. It's just...
especially with the outbreak in China. It looks like
and the US.
escalating.
What's happening in the US is wild. Their cases are just skyrocketing. And yeah, what's worrying about China is the concern they're just not telling us what's happening. What we're hearing is bad, but the concern that they may be concealing the extent of what's happening is very disconcerting.
And they've also got a much older population because of the one-child policy.
And unvaccinated. They have a very unvaccinated older population.
And the vaccinations that they actually use aren't as good as...
yes, they have a shitty vaccine. Yeah. They have a shitty vaccine, yes.
Yeah, so
they are
apparently
very
it's
vulnerable.
only like 54% effective.
Yeah, no, they're extremely
to our,
vulnerable.
90% effective ones, which are,
Yeah.
Yeah. I shouldn't say anything on YouTube, but...
Yeah, no, we'll keep it. I've had 4 doses and I've had COVID. So theoretically, I have a pretty reasonable level of protection at the moment with antibodies. But if it's a completely new variant, I don't think it's established that... I think the most they're prepared to say at the moment is the newest variant is more transmissible from the evidence. There's not yet evidence that it creates more significant, more severe illness. Because that's what we really don't want.
Yeah.
We don't want a variant that creates more severe illness. Because
it
that
possibly also depends on which vaccines you've taken, and in what order, and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll wait and see. I don't know. This year they're kind of pitching for a combined influenza and COVID vaccine. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. We'll see where things go. It's basically, it's the same as last year. We're looking at the North American winter and going, oh, what the fuck's happening there? And can we brace ourselves for what's going to happen for the rest of this year? It's like, God
well,
damn.
I just think it's reasonable foreign policy at the moment from any country in the North or that are experiencing high levels of, people picking up the virus, that they require a simple fucking test.
Yeah, that seems the basic minimum, and because even that's hardly conclusive, but it's something.
And it's for some reason Chinese officials think we shouldn't be doing that, despite the fact
Yeah,
that they require it
bit
themselves
they're a
because they're
bit
dealing with
defensive.
the same problem.
Yeah,
Well, they don't want to personally have the responsibility. Each and every one of them doesn't want to personally have the responsibility
yeah.
because it's always,
Anyway,
it's always the guy at the top that gets
yeah.
that gets put up against the wall. Sometimes literally.
Sometimes
Right.
literally in China, yes. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed. It's bedtime. I'm going to work tomorrow. So I'll see you all another time. I go bye-de-bye for now.